Hey everybody, John Swift here. Today I wanted to talk about Sarasota's Phantom train. Now that's not the name of the train, but I call it that because I have not actually seen a moving train in Sarasota for about 15 years myself. I actually live 2 blocks from there. So if anybody would have heard the train, it would have been me, I would think. Anyway, so I'd say in the past 5 years, I've actually seen train cars sitting on these tracks, say maybe 5 cars, sitting for months and months and months, just rusty old train cars. But I've never seen the engine for the train. So that's what I wanted to do today is we're going to go in search of the engine for the Phantom train. So stick around. It just might get interesting. So, as my investigation continued, I took the railroad tracks northward, further up toward Fruitville Road in Sarasota, and lo and behold, I did find some train evidence, and the evidence of a train car. I don't know what kind of train car this is specifically. I'm not a train expert. I'm going to try to jump off of here real quick. But these are definitely train cars, as you can see by the huge wheels. So one day I was jogging down here and just saw these cars over here. And I'm like, wow, how did these get down here? That's the question, how did these get down there? There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 train cars over here. So I'm like, where is the engine? Where does the engine go? Do they go to Tampa? Do they go somewhere else? Are they hiding somewhere? It just was a huge curiosity. So I've actually seen these cars here before, and then they were gone. You know, a week or two later, I'd come back by, and you can actually, if you've ever went down Fruitville Road is the road that's down here. If you've ever went by there, you can actually, if you're driving in your car, you can look to the right, the north side of the road, and you can actually see there are these cars here. It's kind of hard to miss when you got a train car that's, I don't know, 12 to 15 feet tall, which is I just tripped on something. It's kind of hard to miss. But I was always curious, why did they store them? I really don't know still why they store them down here. I really don't have a clue. But it's interesting. They look like some kind of, see, I'll show you. They have kind of this kind of funnel spout thing that looks like either rocks or something, or sand or something would pour down from these. And I actually looked in the top, and you could see that it has a big storage container that's up at the top. Like you could pile, a huge amount of stuff in there. And then you open these valves, and they actually pour. And I've actually seen evidence too of them repairing the tracks. That's interesting. What do you think that is? It almost looks like a oh, it actually looked like a body there for a second. I guess it's somebody's stuff. I can't tell if somebody's sleeping there. I didn't know that was there. But besides that, here's a look at the front of the train, or the edge here, the lead car. Boy, it is sunny today. Boy, this time of year, the sun is just crazy strong. And then here's another thing I just wanted to show you real quick. I don't know what this is. But somebody has built something here. I don't know what this is. Your guess is really as good as mine. We've got a little fake potted plant and a little horsey there. As the months went by and I jogged by here, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. Like there's some flowers over here and some decorations, pine cones, some sleeping. Maybe this is like a little hotel. There's actually a little, looks like a headlamp, a toy gun. It's like somebody's collection of stuff. It's weird that it's right here because it's not hidden. There's a bunch of shoes here and an American flag. That's nice. And they've actually, like when it started out, there was nothing on the ground here, but there's actually a bunch of like decorative, I don't know what you call those, stones or whatever. Kind of unusual that's there. I don't know why they picked that spot, but very interesting. a little decorative outdoor memorial. And then there's that. I won't tell you what it smells like over here, but anyway. So another look at the trains here. We're gonna keep going northward, looking for evidence of a train or a recent train. So here we go, we're going northward. So here we are, we're at 17th. I'm trying to think of what road we're near. I think we're still like near East Road, 41 down here. And there's actually two railroad crossings. There's like the main one that's right over here. And then there's this, like, I think you call it a spur, the spur track that actually comes by the Salvation Army store. It's kind of strange how the other one goes south that way, yeah, south. And then this one actually comes by here and comes around the back of a Salvation Army store, which I'm not real clear on what that was, but I want to show you further down where it actually just disappears into the street. So this part of the track, actually, where I was before, was down here toward that side of the store. And the tracks temporarily actually disappear under this parking lot. You can actually see they kind of come up down here, right here, underneath this shell parking lot. And you can see that they come over here. I'm not real clear on, I'm actually clueless on what these tracks might have went to. This is a largely industrial area. Here, it's Lime and 17th Street. But you can see the tracks, they pop up wherever there's like a little low spot in the road, these tracks, and you can see by the road over here. I'm just guessing maybe there was lumber over here or some industrial freight going on, concrete or something heavy right here on, what did I say this was? The sign says 16th Street, but I guess this dirt road is 16th Street. Anyway, these tracks, as far as I know, you can see them right here on Lime. That's what I said. Duh. It was on Lime. If you come over, there's actually it's a double set of tracks. One and two over here. So that's one spur of and like I said, I don't really have a clue, but there's a lot of industrial over here. It's very possible that it was lumber. You know, the research that I did, you know, showed that a lot of the trains they weren't necessarily passenger trains, except for the circus, which had a winter home in Sarasota, you know, decades ago. So I'm gonna keep driving northward to see if we can find the elusive the train engine, or some people call it a locomotive, but I'll call it an engine. So we'll see you in a second. So here we are, north of 17th Street, approximately the DeSoto Road area is up here. So as I was investigating, I kept riding these tracks. You can see it's pretty much a dirt road. Some areas it got very, very narrow and scary because it was just gravel. And I'm driving a street bike down the railroad tracks on this gravel, trying not to fall off the edge of like there's a ditch on the other side, and it was like super treacherous. But anyway, when I got down to this area, I found something very, very, very interesting. A mystery parking lot next to the railroad tracks. A mysterious, unknown parking lot that goes back through this, where there's a lot of paved areas. And funny, one mystery turns into another, it seems like. From one mystery to another, a very large parking lot. It is across the tracks is the dog track. So it makes me think that this was some kind of extension parking lot. There's a lot of standing water there. I don't want to go through that one. But if you could see, for all the trees that are growing up around here, this parking lot is very long. I'd say maybe 3/4 of a football field long. Several rows and rows and rows of parking spots. I did investigate this parking lot. That's sort of a separate video. Maybe at one time I'll come back here and do a little video of the parking lot. But it looks like it's all locked up. There's a bunch of water right there. I don't really want to walk through that water, but I did find a lot of, I found an old boat there, a lot of dumped materials, tires and stuff. I do apologize because the sun is like just scorching hot today. I'm being scorched, as you can see from the video. There's no clouds. Well, there's a few little clouds, but anyway. So I found this mystery parking lot. If you have any idea what that is, exactly, like my best guess is maybe it was something to do with the dog track, and it was an extension, because it looks like you could, it sort of looks like you could walk to the dog track from here, maybe through where there used to be a path there maybe, but there's grown over by trees and everything. So another interesting things on the way, I saw, you know, a lot of switch tracks on the way down the railroad tracks here. That's funny. I can actually see headlights way down there. Can you see that at all? Probably not. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. Way down there, at the very, like where it gets really small down at the end there, I see headlights. I wonder if the train is actually running today. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? The train was actually running. This would be the first time I've ever seen it. So, very interesting. Way down here, I can see headlights. I know trains have headlights. That would be really interesting, because I have no idea what the train schedule is, if it runs on a regular basis or just as a needed basis, but it looks like, I don't know how many miles that is, maybe 2 or 3 miles down there. We're headed down there. We're gonna see what those headlights are attached to. Come on, it might get interesting again. So here we are on Whitfield Road. Boy, it is sunny out here. I'm trying to get where you can see me. We're out on Whitfield Road, right near 14th Street, I believe is down here. That's 14th Street. And I guess this is technically Bradenton. There's some boat companies in this area, although it doesn't look like that one's very open. It probably is. And what would you know, it just got interesting, because look right there. Can you see that? It's hard to, because it's so sunny, I can't see if you can see that, but I hope you can see that. That looks like a train engine. Come on. It just got super interesting. Let's go check it out. So we're out here next to where the trains are stored, and it's like it should be a joke. It's like, where do you store a 30 or 40 foot train, you know, whatever ton train? You store it in a little bat cave, a train bat cave. We have number 580 here, engine, and it looks like 579. I don't know if there's any significance behind that. They look like fairly new trains, but for a layman like me, I don't really know that much about trains. I've read that they have diesel engines in them now. It's right over here. Oh, I wanted to show you something. Last time I was here, I actually found these keys hanging on the fence right next to the no smoking sign. Don't these look like hotel keys? Like the little key fob back in the day before they had the magnetic keys. They had these little key fobs. I have no idea what keys they are. If they're the keys to the train, that would be cool. I'm gonna put those right back where I found them a couple months back. Hopefully they'll just stay there. So these trains have a little, I'm gonna call it a spur, that comes off the main track. And I assume that they just pull down to the switch track, switch it, jump off the little side track. Since I'm a novice train person, if you're a train expert, you can tell me a little bit about that maybe. I think I've actually seen video on YouTube of them doing that, where a guy is standing there with that switch track thing. Here's the spur that goes down to, or whatever you call it, the track that goes down south right there. And then there's a switch track here. I think it's called Suburban Propane. Stores those trains there. They must ship a lot of propane, I'm just assuming. And there's a little sign there. And I thought I might wander down to the switch track and get a look at these switch tracks. Look like they're like, I don't know, 50 years old, 100 years old. The old style. know if you've ever seen like a movie where you have to jump off of a train, pull a big lever, which switches the tracks. Here's the switch tracks. Very interesting. All these different little pieces of track that actually switch, allowing the train to go on a different track. And hopefully I mentioned that this is Whitfield Road. Right here is Whitfield, where there's tons and tons of, it's like a warehouse cities. And I think right up here is, the closest road I can think of is, I think it's 14th Street West is right up here. To the west, 14th Street. Maybe it's 14th Street East, sorry. Here's the switch track thing. You can see, it looks like I got a few miles on there. It's got a lock on here. And I guess these, I'm just making this stuff up, but I thought I've heard this stuff. Where you have a switchman, almost fell. A switchman that will jump out, grab the lever, switch it, and then the train will back up into the thing. So, phantom train mystery solved. There is a train that runs in Sarasota. I was hoping earlier that I actually saw lights on the tracks down, which would have been down here. I thought I saw some headlights. I don't know if it was a truck or what it was. It was so far down, I couldn't see it. It was like very, very far, miles and miles far down. I couldn't tell exactly what that was, but I was hoping it was the train actually moving, because they do have headlights on the train. There's if you're a new train enthusiast or whatever, it's very interesting to sometimes just come down and walk the tracks. I took my motorcycle, drove down the tracks, somewhat treacherous for motorcycles. Sometimes you have to go over bridges and things, but there's also another spur of the track that actually looks like it goes right into that property right there, down there. It's very interesting. I can imagine in my little brain just thinking that when the trains used to carry a lot of freight, and it used to be like an everyday thing where they didn't have semi-trucks, they would just kind of cruise off onto the warehouse, pick up their stuff, switch back onto the main track, cruise off. It seemed like a very interesting time, maybe, to be on the train. I don't know. So I hope you enjoyed this video and my little journey, adventure, solving a mystery of where do you keep a, whatever, 40-foot train engine. Very interesting to me. It did take me a couple weeks of traveling up and down the tracks to finally locate it. I never thought to go on Google Earth, but when the map that I went on recently doesn't show the train actually sitting there. It shows the tracks going onto this property. But maybe when you go on different maps, the pictures were taken at different times, so it just depends what map you're looking at and when the satellite image was taken, all that kind of good stuff. So I wanted to show you this other track, switch track leg that goes over here. It looks like it kind of goes right up to where there might have been a loading dock over there on this property, whatever this warehouse was, and maybe they picked up supplies. So if you like this video, if you could do me a favor, on the left side of your screen, if you're watching on Facebook, you go down to the bottom little bar down there. It has like a black line that says YouTube. If you click on YouTube and go to YouTube, you don't have to watch the video game, but you can actually be on the YouTube website, and there you can click the thumbs up. It's very much appreciated. I do need the thumbs up. It actually helps your ranking with your videos, and just says, hey, I appreciate your video. Just take an extra second to do that, and if you haven't subscribed, do that. I have dozens of more videos that I have on the books to shoot. Hopefully we're going to sometime the next month, I'm going to Halloween Horror Nights, so I hope, because it's right at the end of September here. I think it's like September 30th now. So hopefully in the next month we'll be going to Halloween Horror Nights. Hope to shoot some video there. Hopefully I'll make a couple videos out of that. That should be really fun. Appreciate you guys watching. I love all you guys. Thanks for all the support. And we'll see you guys later. Hope you have a great day. See ya.
Please like and subscribe.
By the way, if there's any of you out there that are interested in a beautiful fifth wheel trailer, a wilderness trailer in great condition, except for this very large hole in the roof. Except for that large hole in the roof, it's in beautiful condition. Come on down to Salvation Army, buy this beautiful wilderness, a new coat of paint, a little bit of Bondo on the roof. It's great. Come on down. Call us at 555-4444. See you soon. The train is coming. It's the train. It's the train is coming. The train has come. It's a